Hi YouTube. This is a review or FAQ about what I feel are the best hair extensions ever. And the reason I'm making this video about a service instead of a particular product is because a lot of people ask me about my hair, and a lot of people really want extensions and long hair, but they try a method that I would consider inferior, and then they don't like it, which is pretty predictable because my first extensions were clip-ins. I got the head candy ones, the longest they had, and I installed them once. They were impossible to style. They looked silly. My head was bumpy. Now every notification in the world is going to go off. I felt the pressure points on my head all night long, and I just hated it. It was the worst. I know people wear those a lot, but it was just, I was like, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to have extensions, because this is what they feel like, and it's horrible. Then I got microbeads a few years later. And the microbeads, I loved them at first. They were great, but there were a few things that I would consider downsides. It depends on what you're looking for. So the downsides for me were the cost. They were very labor intensive and expensive. The quality and length of the hair was limited to hair that's fabricated for beads. And they do tend to mat up and take hair with them. So after a while, I was like, maybe I should try tape. Maybe tape is a better option. And I called my current stylist. So I go to Long Island Glamour, and if you live on Long Island, I highly recommend Long Island Glamour, and I highly recommend Ashley. And Ashley said she did every single kind of bead, every single type of extension there was, but she recommended a sew-in. Now at that point, I didn't know that a sew-in would work for me. So she said it was fine, and I was a little bit nervous because I didn't know how to care for it, but she said she would tell me about it. So I went in, and I actually managed to get the length that I want. So I think I started with 28-inch hair, and now my hair is like at 32, so my hair is pretty long. Sorry, I just want to wipe my hands off. It goes, it is about, it goes to the end of my hips. I was stood up the last time, but it looked really stupid, so you'll just have to take my word for it. So I went into Ashley. She took out my microbeads. That was the longest part. It took about 2.5 hours, and about half of my hair came out with them. And I wasn't unhappy because I knew they were going, but I was gonna have the weave, so it didn't really matter. So then she braided up my hair, and she sewed wefts of hair onto it. And that night I noticed it was far more comfortable. And that's the first thing I wanted to touch on about an advantage. I mean, I think I might have talked about an advantage already, but I never used to wear my natural hair down, even when it was long, when it was short, whatever the case was. I just hated it. It would stick to my neck and my face. It was hard to style, even though I could blow dry really fast. It just never did what I wanted it to do, and no matter what it did, it was always sticking to my neck and my face. So with my hair like this, I find that I actually wear it down all the time. On a rare occasion, I'll put it into braids. And the reason why I took it out, and you can see in my other videos that I didn't have my extensions in, was because I thought it would be harder to care for during surgery, but in the past month I've been so sad without my hair extensions, I just got them back in, and I'll just wear it in braids when I need to. Sorry, there are people outside. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I was saying that, I don't usually wear it up anymore, and I don't usually need to keep it off my neck. Unlike my natural hair, it does not get sweaty and stick to me. And then one of the big pluses is, like, my eyelashes, and I get lash extensions too for convenience, is that it is extremely convenient. People think that hair extensions are a hassle, when I find that it's the complete opposite. You don't have to style your hair. You don't really have to wash your hair like once or twice a week, but you shouldn't wash it very much because you're going to ruin the extensions, no matter what kind you have, although I really caution you to only get sew-ins because I just don't believe the other methods are worthwhile. And I think that has a lot to do with training. I think a sew-in is a skill that somebody learns over, a long amount of time. So they're really good with the placement of the hair. And I think hair extensions done in salons are just a novelty service. Maybe 1 or 2 clients a week, if that, come in and get them. So this is not a person who's doing extensions all day long. So yeah, as far as the the ease goes, it's so easy. Even if you style it yourself, you just need to. I mean, you can blow dry it at home. You can air dry it. You could sit in the sun, but you can get one of these from Amazon for like $10 or Wish for like 50 cents, and it's a hood. and you just put it on and you put your dryer on the other end, and you just make sure your tracks are covered. And then you sit there for 45 minutes watching TV until your tracks dry, and then you can style your hair, you can curl it, you could do whatever you want to do. And you can also use clip-in bangs. I have a clip over there that's I have lots of flower clips for my hair because I like retro style. So yeah, I just wanted to review sew-ins, which is not really a product, although you can go see my stylist. She's so good. She's really busy, but it's not hard to get an appointment with her. She's just very busy. And she's at Long Island Glamour in Deer Park. But I also wanted to answer questions, although nobody's really asked one here. So if anybody has a specific question, and again, if you're looking at hair extensions, I definitely 100% recommend that you only get a sew-in. I don't think you should mess with beads or anything like that, because I just think they're inferior methods. Please ask me. Oh, and then I wanted to talk about cost. So when I had micro beads, they were several $100s, which, you know, your hair is an investment. A lot of people think that, and I agree, you know, it depends on what you want to spend on hair, but yesterday I got my hair reinstalled, and for the braiding, for the styling, for everything, it was $140, so that's not bad. So it's a lot less costly to get a sew-in than it is the other methods, and I find that the other methods are just inferior. They don't perform as well, they tangle up, you have to do special things. I mean, with this hair I can pull it, I can style it, I can get it wet, it never mats, it never dreads in the back like the micro beads did. Unlike the tape, it doesn't adhere to your hair with an adhesive. Same thing with the keratin. Your real hair is braided up and protected. So, and then also the lengths. If you like really long hair, and you don't have to get really long hair, you can get like, you know, this length or whatever, and it just looks really good whatever length you get. But if you like really long hair, you can just get a sew-in and never have to think about your hair again. It's great. And then also a third thing that's just kind of the side of the point is that I wanted to go blonde for a while, so I got some blonde hair from Ashley. She stocks like every hair color in life. She had this really nice teal display yesterday when I was there. And she did an ice blonde bob for me. Instead of having my natural hair in the front, my leave out, she just braided that up too. And the blonde hair covered it, looked really nice. And then when I was tired of it, I took it out and went back to my regular hair, which people always say looks better on me. So, and it was the same thing, easy to care for, not difficult to style, and it didn't do any damage to my hair, even though it was white blonde. So it was very cool. And then if you do have very greasy hair, you can wash the front part of your hair if you don't want to get into the whole styling the back part. And that's like, you know, your leave out, and you can wash it and straighten it, and then, you know, you can do this part less frequently if you don't want to wear out the hair. I don't know how long I've had this hair because it's kind of all jumbled up, but some of it is like, you know, it's been in for a while and it looks really good, you know, compared to, it doesn't get, you know, dried out and gross or anything. So yeah, I just wanted to review this particular method because I know it's not as popular in salons, you know, as the kind of ones that you can learn in a weekend at a course or whatever the case is, but I love my sew-in. I can't obviously live without it because I went running back to get it even though I was trying to take a break from it. My hair looks like this all the time. It never does, like, you know, I never have a bad hair day. And really all I have to do with it is run a straightener over if it starts to curl up and I don't want curls, or I curl it if I don't want it to be straight. But yeah, this is the best hair hack that there is having hair extensions. I love it. It's affordable, even though most people think it isn't. It's easier than my natural hair, even though most people think it isn't. And you can have the hair that you want, you know, affordably and all the time. So if you have any questions about hair extensions, sew-ins, or you know, my experiences with them or things I might know, you can tweet me at Kim Capria. You can leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I don't really have an audience, but if you want to subscribe, please feel free to. I make videos about beauty topics and surgery, which I probably will make more surgery videos as the date approaches, and then some afterwards, just because I want information to be available to people who are in the same situation that I'm in, you know, or people who are going for surgery in the Dominican Republic. So thank you for watching, and please leave me your hair questions if you have any.